Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, June 14th. We are looking at window traders, market profile, SPY IWM, and triple Qs. So the market did digest today, like we thought it would, but it did digest at the lower end of yesterday and even below, as we're still down in all three of these time frames, monthly, weekly, and daily. I thought maybe we'd try to come into some sort of balance prior to the Fed. Now, again, we can. If we take out today's high, tomorrow before 2 o'clock, we'd be putting this back in balance. What they did do is go and wipe out those two monthly lows from February and March of 2021. There are only 4 destinations left from 2021. I gave them to you last night. The one thing, though, that's interesting is we got decent excess at the day's low today. Now, by no stretch am I saying the lows are in and we're going to hold it. There's a lot happening this week between the Fed and don't forget we have ex-dividend and the quadruple expiration, all that. But at least short term, there was decent excess on the lows, which might provide us something tomorrow morning prior to 2 p.m. Now, we all go out with very wide pocs again. 10 wide again for us, 12 wide for Q and Russells. So since Thursday's flush, where we had single prints, Friday, Monday, Tuesday have done nothing but go lower with huge gaps, yet with 11, 10, and 10 wide with no single prints. Now, I'm not saying there's long-term buying in this market, but it's kind of interesting how they've gone lower early, but still get back to it as a lot of liquidity. So I'm wondering if a lot of short-term sellers and short sellers and weak longs are getting out and being absorbed by long-term money. I don't know. We're never going to know, but it's a thesis. I had a good day. Not thrilled with my P&L today. Should have done better. I think I saw the day really well, but didn't act on some things or whatnot. Actually took 2 longs in A period, basically against yesterday's low and D's low the first time. There were the 378 calls. I thought we might hold this. A little surprised because I thought we would kind of consolidate more around here rather than where we did. Now, we did get yesterday's wide POC, but barely. And I thought we would consolidate more. Actually, it doesn't even look like we got it on this, but we definitely did get it. 377. Yeah, we got it. By 10 cents, we got it. I thought we would consolidate higher. So when we pushed down, I was like, the first time I don't mind taking those longs, even though value went from unchanged to overlapping to lower. We did end lower on the day. But those longs worked out. Then B period, we take out the day's low, but we get nothing for our efforts. No energy, so I went long 374 calls back inside of A's range, which paid. Then in C period, we started, we looked like, I didn't think we were going to hold trend, but I thought maybe we would hold the one-time framing because we had a reversal bar in B, and then C took out B's low. So when it pushed up, I started a short around B and A's low. I did not expect it to push up as much as it did. So I actually got myself in a little bit of trouble, but added pretty decent at C's high. And when it came back in, I had a really nice trade. It was my best trade of the day. Those were the 376 puts. I had 75 of them. Then in G period, made a new low, no tempo, took a long, 374 calls, and rode that back up to POC. Then after that, in H, I was like, are we going to do the same thing to that we did yesterday? Except I didn't use it as the afternoon rally high. It was too close to the day's high. Took a short near value high at the time. I got paid on it when it came in, but then it ripped higher. And I was waiting for it to get just a little closer to the opening. Didn't take it. Big miss because it came right in. Took a short in L against G's high at the time. When we held single print, SPY actually held 2 cents and then it rolled over. I made nice on that. But then I took a long when we took out the second of those 2 monthly lows, and it extended a lot more than I thought it would. I held on to it. I didn't add. It came back. I took it off for a loss. It wasn't a big loss at all, but I hate hate ending the day with a loss on my last trade. And especially when it turned out to be the right play, because I didn't think they were really going to push low and go trend. And then you saw what M did, and I just didn't get involved in M period. So it's a good day overall, but probably not as good as I should have had it. As far as destinations tomorrow, we have 374.14, which is B's low and our 10 wide POC. We are 376.45. That's the afternoon rally high from today. That is H's high. Today's high of 377.94, and you should have everything else to the upside that we spoke about yesterday. Downside 370.59. So we close off of that pretty good. Now, before we go to the charts, I did tell the room this. There's another thing we do in the room, especially when it's not that busy late in the day. We start formulating what possibly could happen, at least in the morning tomorrow. And I said, I think there's at least an 80% chance that we open inside yesterday's range, 15% chance we gap higher, 5% chance we gap lower. And the reason for that is, after taking out those 2 monthly lows and not getting much and popping back, I think maybe sellers did what they wanted to do for now until they hear the Fed. But I'm never going to put it at 0%. And the reason I gave 15% to the upside is because this market is very short in the short term. And maybe you'll get some of those covering. But again, I'm only putting those odds at 15 and 5. The meat of it, I think we open inside of today's range and have tremendous chop and get these wide POCs just like we did today from the previous days. And then on the chart, so the only thing I'll show you is the daily. We're one time framing down now, 4 days. We have 2 huge gaps. Is the daily getting stretched? Possibly. But like I said yesterday, the monthly and weekly, to me, are not stretched at all, the downside. We just took out the previous month's low. We just took out the weekly low, the yearly low not too long ago. So those can still get really good legs if the market doesn't like what it hears tomorrow. But in the short term, the daily is stretched. We'll see if we take back some of that prior to 2 p.m. tomorrow and what happens after His Highness Lord Powell speaks. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.